kids might say, speaking of tripping, here is Ivanka Trump, who is on Fox and Friends, who has been sent out. Now, you always wonder, like now, with the total awareness that Donald Trump is watching Fox and Friends on a regular, determined basis, if she's not going on there in some way to ingratiate herself with her dad or to make her dad feel good, or this is like a stocking stuffer. She apparently was one of the big pushers of the tax deal. And also, equally as apparent, she has no idea what it is. Here she is on Fox and Friends.
It was a special day in the White House. You know what happens when you do a good job at your job? Your dad's going to be gassing up the airplane and sending you all over the country for for future legislation. Congratulations.
It is my greatest pleasure. And I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of traveling in April when people realize the effect that this has, both on the process of filling out their taxes. The vast majority will be doing so on a single postcard, but also having experienced the relief that will be starting as early as February. So then it will be a real privilege to show not only what the companies are doing, but the personal impact that it's going to have to so many people across this country.
And if that's the case.
Now, there's a couple of things. One, it's pretty clear we didn't make that postcard thing. But more importantly, the way a tax deal works is it applies to the year that's coming up. So it will apply to 2018. And the way taxes are filed, and maybe Ivanka doesn't know this, but you actually file your taxes the year following. So in other words, that postcard, if it is even if you imagine it's going to be on a postcard, that's not going to show up until April 2019. So, I mean, that's just a small detail that you know, that you file your taxes in April for the year prior. Maybe she didn't pick up on that, but I'm quite sure the jet's going to be fired up and fueled up, and she's going to be flying around anyways.
Yeah. Everyone says she's the smartest Trump, and I think she probably is because that's a low bar, but she doesn't know everything, apparently.
She responded to this criticism.
Okay, and so somebody tweeted at her and said, actually, Ivanka Trump, in April 2018, people were doing their 2017 taxes based on the current law. And she goes, correct! All across America, people will be thinking about how cumbersome the old tax code is and energized about upcoming simplification.
Good save.
Yes. So she's going to fly around and see people very excited about next year's filing. And now, theoretically, I guess people, if they also are going to be looking forward to these type of things, people could also be saying, oh, I overshot 2018 and went to 2025, where all of these tax breaks that I'm supposedly getting are actually rescinded, but all the corporate ones stay intact. One of the big winners, apparently, in the tax deal, just one, is are the nation's biggest banks. Because, you know...
It's good for them to get a W every once in a while.
You know, the idea that you could go for more than a matter of months without the U.S. government in some way subsidizing the biggest banks in the country is just, I think, too frightening of a prospect for everyone. That's the problem. 7 of the country's biggest banks will save between $700 million and $3.7 billion next year due to corporate tax rate reduction. This is according to Goldman Sachs' calculations. Bank of America, $3.5 billion in savings. Citigroup, $1.4 billion. JP Morgan, $3.3 billion. Morgan Stanley, $833 million. Wells Fargo. You know, you remember Wells Fargo. They're that company that would actually had like a systemic process of committing fraud against their own clients. They're only getting $3.7 billion. PNC, a measly $700 million. U.S. Bank Corp, $766 million. And Goldman Sachs doesn't even include their own expected savings, though it could be up to $1.6 billion based on their revenue in 2016. Remember how he was not going to be... you remember all those speeches that Hillary gave. Wells Fargo, however, announced it's going to be raising its minimum age to $15 an hour. That's $1.50 more for people.
They're job creators.
They're job creators, yes. Now, of course, they're not getting this money for a year, so somehow they already found it. Amazing about that.
Business confidence.
Yeah, finally have a confident outlook. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos